Hello, my fellow 15-year-old tuna fish. I'm Mr. Church, and today there is nothing new in the item shop. It's just a bunch of bundles, not even new bundles either, which is interesting. And we have the sales, and this guy's squished so badly, it's a pain to look at, but that's what we're looking at today. I'm going to point out some cool stuff that you might want in some of these things, some stuff to avoid. Also, just a little bit of an update. Today starts Mischief Night. That's right, Mischief Night is finally back. You might remember that many years ago there was Mischief Night for exactly one time, and it happened at White Springs, and it absolutely destroyed the server whenever it was on. So they actually shut the event down because it was blowing up the servers so badly. And years later, they tried to recreate this by giving it to us when Skyline Valley came out. It was still causing a lot of server instability, but now it's finally ready, allegedly, and here it is in all its glory. I'm not going to walk you through the event because I'm sure a bunch of other people are going to be covering that. I am going to show you something really cool made by the Duchess Flame on her website. She has a lot of really great guides if you're not aware. And for Mischief Night, she's compiled a reward checklist, and you can actually download these to have them, or you can get one for mobile, but you can actually just use it right on the website. So this will tell you what year this reward was added, if it's tradable or not, and the percent chance of it dropping. And then up here shows your overall progress, and it will save your progress on the website using what I assume to be cookies. Now, as soon as you do it, you'll get a 100% chance of getting the Goblin title, so you can check that off. As you can see, this will go up, and this will give you a nice visual to know, like, how many of the rewards you're still missing, how close you are to getting them all very quickly, very satisfying as well. You can also quickly reset it up here. That's really cool. And then there's also this, which if you just wanted to have a checklist on your own, you can also just grab this, and it's printable and downloadable. But this will also tell you the drop rate, and there's little places to check it, which is pretty cool. There's actually a couple of really cool rewards, like this Jack-in-the-Box backpack, this scarecrow head, and this bat. There's a bat backpack as well. So I'm actually really excited to go get those plans after 75,000 runs. So that is something cool if you are interested in grabbing those. I'm going to link this stuff in the description if you want to check it out yourself. But now let's look quickly at the item shop. We've got the Suburban Living Bundle. This has the Helvetian cabinet display case. Now 2 people can actually sleep inside the Helvetian cabinet display here, which is pretty unique. We also have the white flower pattern door. Now, something I don't like about this white flower pattern door is it snaps to the center of the foundation, and it's only half a foundation wide, which is really stupid. So if you're trying to use snapping, it's pretty annoying. We have the holiday wallpaper. Now, you can actually place things inside this wallpaper, but you can only have 6 stuff, and they sit evenly spaced, which looks super unnatural. So I don't usually display things in that. And then we have the wrought iron fence. You can't see through these windows. And then we have the burgundy modular sofa set, and it's this green color, and you can place it on the walls. And then we've got the rough patch planter kit. These things can snap together, or you can turn snapping off on them. They're pretty nice, they're pretty cool. And then lastly, we have the Modern Conveniences bed, and this was actually one of the rewards in one of the season passes. It's like foundations, but you can actually plant stuff in them. And it's got these weird Nuka-Cola holes, and it's pretty interesting. Let's move over to the Nuka-Cola Thirst Quenching bundle, because this one's really interesting because we've got the Nuka-Cola Quantum Jumpsuit, and I believe that accidentally is what this is a picture of. And then we've got the Nuka-Cola Cask Stool, and now that is in this frame, but I don't know if that's the picture for it. Let's hope to God it isn't, because they only have half of it being shown here. We've got the Nuka-Cola Quantum Sweetie Pea vending machine, and this is a vending machine, of course. You're going to build 4 of them. And this is the Nuka-Cola Quantum bottle lamp. They've accidentally lined it up again. They're getting pretty sketchy with it. This is the Nuka-Cola Quantum delivery truck, and you can actually sit on this. This is the Nuka-Cola Quantum sign. It collects different things like Nuka-Cola Quantums and stuff, but you can also set it to collect other things. And we've got the Nuka-Cola Quantum Collectron Station. This is a prefab. that you can build. If you're getting confused, that's because I'm just reading the thing that they've set up for me, and it's not my job to do their work for them, and I hope one day that the people that are getting paid will do theirs. Now this is Spick and Span bundle over here. This has the clean bathtub, the clean sink, the clean white picket fences, the clean male mannequin, the clean solid billboard, the clean shower, the clean toilet, the clean female mannequin, and the clean hospital bed. Now I want you guys to pay close attention because they have this picture, which I've clowned on many times before, not once, but twice, for different things. They're using this picture to show different things. This is just a joke. This is a joke, okay? So, not only are we supposed to deduce what the picture is supposed to be of, we're supposed to know what this one is of and what this one is of when they're of two different things, but they're using the same exact picture. We're not only supposed to deduce what these items are that we don't own and don't know what they are yet, otherwise why are we interested in them, without knowing which is which. They have the same exact picture for two different things. One can only assume this is for the clean toilet and potentially the clean sink, but they also show that in this picture as well. And it's just like, the things that they do here, like, I'm not even going to talk about the sign this time. I mean, look at it, okay? Also, no one puts a toilet like that in the corner. You know, it's obviously they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing when they just put in nothing, okay? I don't know if it's because they needed all hands on deck to make sure Mischief Night doesn't absolutely nuke the servers again, but either way, there's nothing in here. And I don't really mind if every once in a while they just have bundles of old stuff, especially if, which we'll get to later, they actually line up with the seasons and they have stuff that we might actually want at an appropriate time. What I do mind is when they spend exactly minus 15 minutes putting the stuff in order and taking pictures of the actual butt-fucking things that they're trying to sell. So I hate all that, makes me mad. How about that? But let's get out of here and go on to the Leo Petrov Bundle. Now this has the Nuka Twist Secret Service Armor, the Nuka-Cola Plaque, the Light Ally, Leo Petrov, and the Nuka-Cola Blitz Dart Machine. This is a picture of this horrific-looking Under Armour, which thank the Lord, there's always going to be something covering up. Now, I've got the Grease Goblin bundle here. We've got the Nutronite backpack, the Mr. Fuzzy Antenna Ball backpack flare. This is a weapons bench that will actually raise and lower the car when you interact with it. We've got the Hot Rod on blocks. We've got the Pegasus Weapons workbench, the Grease Goblin mask, and the Grease Goblin outfit. Okay. Nice. I actually really like this Hot Rod on blocks. It's a pretty cool item, and this car is also cool. If you don't own either of these cars, this is a great bundle to pick up because it has both of them. This one's a weapons workbench. This is a floor decor item, especially now that we can really use these and mush stuff into them. They're a lot easier to work with. Then we also have the Ghillie netting bundle. This has all the Ghillie suit stuff. If you wanted a Ghillie suit, there it is. There's a Ghillie backpack, there's wood armor, scout armor, leather armor, marine armor, there's a hunting rifle paint, robot armor, combat armor, Secret Service armor, and metal armor paint. This is all armor skins, okay? So if you're someone who wears outfits, they're going to cover them up, okay? So keep that in mind, because there actually is a Ghillie suit that's like a costume, like an outfit that you can wear. This doesn't have that in it. This is only the Ghillie suit armor paints and weapon skins, and backpack, of course. So if you thought it was going to be the actual Ghillie suit that you can wear over your normal armor, think again, because that's not what it is. Anyway, that's that. Then we have the Wildwood Tavern bundle. This has the Wildwood Tavern, the Wildwood Tavern sign, the Vault Girl bar ceiling light, the Vault Girl dining room ceiling light, and the Wildwood Tavern stool and the tavern wallpaper. This is an example of the situation that I've talked about before of having this stuff out of order. It leads to a bunch of different confusions and issues later on. Here's an example where you have the Vault Girl bar ceiling light and the dining room ceiling light, and you're not even sure which is which because everything's always out of order. It could be either way, we're not sure. Like, we can make our guesses that this would be the table light and this would be the bar light or something like that, but we don't know. And so what if there's a situation down the line where it just has one of these for sale and we don't know which one it is because, again, the pictures are all fucked up? Situations like that is false advertising because you are not showing clearly what you are selling and people don't know, and then they end up buying stuff they didn't want, and then when they try to get a refund over time, if they refund too many times, you arbitrarily and illegally decide that you're not going to refund them. So eventually, like, it may seem like a small thing to like not have this stuff listed in order, but what it is actually a class action lawsuit waiting to happen. It's just one small part of the class action lawsuit, don't get me wrong, but it is a very, very significant part of consistent deceitful practices in your advertising. And it pisses me off if you guys didn't notice. This is the Snack Shack Camp Bundle, by the way, and it has the Miss Vienna player icon. As you can see, that's a player icon, allegedly. And this is a Mr. Fuzzy balloon station. This is a Snack Shack. This is Mr. Frank player icon. This is concession sign set, concession stand door, the pepper roller ride, the pristine Nuka-Cola vending machine, and the snack bar neon billboard. Or you just, how about this, not have the pictures at all. Now, if you didn't own certain things, there's actually another bundle that's right here, and it's something like a Life on the Farm or some shit like that. This bundle has, if I'm remembering correctly, the barn prefab, which has the barn sliding door, it has the worm farm, and it has the reclining hunting chairs, and a couple of the other things, I think, and I don't remember what it costs, but that's all I can tell you there. The barn is pretty cool, the door is really cool, and I think that the worm farm is something that a lot of people like, but that's all I can remember. Now we have greatest hits, and this is what I mentioned earlier. They actually have bundles for stuff for an upcoming holiday instead of putting it 5 days after. And I want to say big bravo to that. Because imagine someone in October putting stuff for the spooky season ahead of time so that we can actually build spooky camps before Halloween instead of the day after. So on that note, there's the Black Cat Bundle. Now this has the coffin stash box, the skull candles. Whoops, we lined one up. The Witch Cauldron cooking station, where actually that's another one they lined up on accident. The Laughing Witch player icon, the spooky sound machine, and the animatronic black cat, which is here in this. Okay. So the picture for the bundle is one item in here that they don't have a picture for. And then they actually show that they do have the ability to put player icons in here. They're just too fucking lazy to do so. So in this bundle, or whatever it was, where they just don't bother having these player icons, there's 2 player icons, they just don't have them in here because they're lazy as shit. So how about you do your jobs, guys? You're getting paid to do them, I assume, unless you're being forced into labor, and that's illegal slavery, so we could talk about that as well. Now, there's something shitty going on either way. I think that we can all agree on that. Anyway, these are some interesting things. I really like this this sound machine. I believe you can only build one in your camp, but it's kind of cool. It looks like a little walkie-talkie thing that's got like something taped onto it. I think it's a pretty cool little item. And then you've got, this is obviously, anyway, the Robber Halloween Bundle has the Wasteland Bandit Under Armour. That's actually a picture of it right there, which is absolutely crazy. And then we've got the Hanging Bats light, and it's for the ceiling light. And and then we have the cardboard Halloween cutouts, the Wasteland Bandit costume, the Wasteland Bandit hat, and the plasma ball set. We've also got the jail cell walls and the Wasteland Bandit mask. So I actually was wrong. This is the Wasteland Bandit costume and hat and mask, okay? They don't have a picture of the Under Armour. They don't have a picture of the Wasteland Bandit Under Armour. Why would they? This bundle does come with the jail set. Keep that in mind because here they have the jail set by themselves for 400. Not only have the Mausoleum Bundle, we've got the Concrete Mausoleum, the Bat Shadow Lamp, the Ferocious Mr. Fuzzy Plushie, and the Tomb Bed. So this picture shows more prominently these things, but it's actually an ass picture all around. I think we can all agree on that. This is actually what it's selling. This is a bed. Your character slides this open and then lays down inside it and then slides it shut again. It's pretty cool, actually. I really like this item. You can use it for concrete chunks as well. But keep in mind, even with the relaxed building restrictions, there will be limitations on what you can mush into it because it will say that it will not be accessible because it's a piece of furniture if you try something too freaky. Something to note if you're on console, especially PlayStation, I can't speak for Xbox because I don't play on there, a lot of times the projector lights will not work. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. They just don't shine anywhere. So keep that in mind. If you're looking to buy that stuff. And this is a horrific looking Mr. Fuzzy plushie if you really want that. I don't know why it has honeycomb pattern, but it really fucking does, doesn't it? Anyway, this doesn't come with these little things or that. That's a Fashion Act thing. Anyway, that's all we've got in that bundle. And then we have the Halloween decoration bundle. This comes with a Trick Candy Bowl, the Wraith Scarecrow, the Squished Witch Halloween decoration, and the Vault Boy Vampire Cutout. Now, they actually have 2 items in this picture, so they're getting even more disgusting with their stupid laziness, because now they're combining items into one photo, and we have to figure out which ones are which is going to lead to even more confusion. And you have to wonder at some point how much of this is calculated and malicious and how much of this is just sheer laziness, or maybe even they don't have, like, it's understaffed, they don't have the manpower to, I don't know, take a picture of something. Because it does take a lot of time if you really stop and think about it. Except don't think for too long, because you would end up thinking for longer than it would have taken to go in and take those pictures. This picture is the Trick Candy Bowl and the Squished Witch. In case you were wondering, actually, this has 3 items. This also has the Vault Boy Vampire Cutout right here. And then this is a bonus picture of that. And this doesn't come in it. This is a free item that you can get at a later time. Sometimes it's in the item shop. This is a samurai outfit. What more can I say? Instead of showing a picture of the outfit, though, let's have 5 pictures of the hat and not the outfit. Sounds good? Okay, now here's the Viking costume. Look the part while you are raiding and pillaging the wasteland. Includes the Viking costume and busted horn Viking helmet. Alright, it does not come with a stein. That's not a thing that you can do. But this is a thing you can look like if you really want. Sometimes a spooky Scorched, by the way, will be dressed like this. So that's what you can look like as well. This is the metal tomahawk, mohawk, hairstyle, and it's a saw blade that's embedded into your head somehow and feels just fine. Don't worry. The Gag Glasses bundle, see how they have 2 pictures of the same glasses on characters, and they don't show what these look like on people, because that would take, I think, about, let me think about it, 30 seconds, I think, depending on how fast your PC is, and I can imagine the developers would probably have slow, sluggish machines to work with there at the shop, where they build the game. It would probably take them weeks to load into the game and put those glasses on their character. That wouldn't cost them anything to do because they can adjust it and make everything free, and then they can just put it on their character and take fucking picture, and then it would be there and they could just up. Anyway, so here we have 2 pictures of the same glasses and not any pictures of these or these. This is a Happy Halloween frame, and for $75 it's a steal. And when I say it's a steal for them. They're stealing your money if you buy this. If you even think about purchasing this, I gotta be honest with you, you kind of deserve it though. This is the workshop expanded and building a better camp. I'm not really sure about better, but you can make something big and chunky in it if you really want. This included with the Brotherhood of Steel digital upgrades. Now, if you know what that means, congratulations. You're the only one in the room that does. This is actually, can you guys let me know in the comments what the fuck that's going on about? And then this is a sap collector. It dispenses adhesive. Now, they forgot to say again, because sometimes they say and sometimes they don't, this cannot be built in shelters because it is a collecting device. There is something interesting with this tree, is you can place it in the sky. It doesn't have to be placed in the dirt, which allows, because of the free placing now, you can place it wherever you want, which is really nice. I wish they did that with all the plants, but they didn't. The jail walls only come with these 2 pieces. They do not have a half wall. They don't have a corner wall. They don't have any roof or anything. It's just these two pieces. It was one of the really early wall sets that they created, so they were probably just didn't know how to do anything. Actually, they still don't, but this is the Camden Park stove. I have no idea what they're selling this for. You do need to know the cooking stove plan to build it because it is a cooking stove skin. I think it looks kind of cool. I think there's a few better options now, but when it first came out, I really liked it. I think it's got a lot of good rustic vibes, and I like how there's wood in the side here. Pretty cool item. This is the resonator guitar, and this, you can play it, okay? That's all there is to it. This is the Atomic Blast lamp, and it says it's safe, warm, nuclear glow, but it's actually pretty white and gaudy, if I can remember correctly. This is the Vine set. Now, the Vine set, actually, they don't tell you here, because why would they? The Vine set comes with normal vines and that are the size of a full wall, and normal vines the size of a half wall. And then they have light vines and heavy vines, and then the half wall versions of those as well. They originally had to be snapped to the walls. Of course, now we can place them wherever we want, but they will be in those big squares. And here's the burgundy modular sofa set that was in another little thing. This was in another bundle, but I really like these. I think they're kind of neat. But if you want to adjust those from the bundle, you can just grab them here. This is a display rack you can place stuff on, so that's good, and display it. And that's everything on this page. Let's get out of here and go to free and special offers. The Brew-Haha Bundle, which has the white crocodile camera paint, the fancy bar mirror, the fancy bar stool, the fancy bar chair, the Nuka-Shine Power Armor paint set, the Nuka-Shine brewing workbench, the vintage football uniform, the fancy round table, the fancy bar, the fancy backed bar stool, the Nuka-Shine hat, and the vintage football helmet. What the fuck did we just phone this in on? Okay, so if you guys want to know what that stuff looks like, so do I. Wouldn't it be nice? I strongly recommend not purchasing this bundle, because how the fuck dare they even try to sell that when they have literally half the pictures for the items and the other half we have no idea what they look like, what they are. Why don't you guys go? Let's go on to the free item. If you have Follow First, is actually the only new thing in the shop today. And if you have Follow First, it's for free. If you don't have Follow First, it doesn't exist. You can't have it. Take that out of your hands. This is a light up clock, and it's about that size, I guess, and it looks like that. This is the Union Bundle. This has a bunch of stuff that you probably already owned. And then this backpack, the scaffolding kit, this thing, and this thing. So, just so you know, guys, the only thing in here that I really find worth it to own is this scaffolding set, but they often will have the scaffolding set by itself, and I would just wait for that to happen if you really want these. These snap together, they're kind of cool, but again, I would just wait till they're on their own instead of buying this if I were you. And you also have your free item, Improved Bait, if you so choose. Now for the daily item down here, it's 21 hours left. This is a Swiss flower cart, and if I can find one when I'm making this video, I'll post a photograph of the items that are going to be in the shop this week. If I can't find it, I'm just gonna sit here weeping, and so will you. But each day, this will be updated every 24 hours with a new item that's 50% off the alleged original price. And so if you want to keep logging in and seeing if that's worth your time, I really would as well. So that's all there is today in the item shop. I hope it was really gripping and enjoyable, just like your mom said it was last night. But I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. If it wasn't for your support, I wouldn't really, I would be I would be sad. And if you guys are interested in supporting the channel in that way, the link for that will be in the description. But just liking, subscribing, commenting, those things all help the channel immensely, and I really appreciate it. If you guys are in the Discord, make sure you join the Discord. It's a great community, and I also stream on Twitch. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. The links for those things will be in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.